Hello and welcome back to the Verbal Money Podcast. We've got a bit of a different episode for you. This is the podcast that isn't afraid to deal with the big questions, just like how good really is Conor McGregor? That's a bit of an in-joke that people outside the BM crew probably won't get. They'll just think I'm really late to a really outdated joke, but we have to give the man some credit. So we are going to be doing a UK MMA and Ireland draft today. This idea came to us following Laura Sanko's incredible list, which keeps on giving. You probably heard us talk about it last episode. So we thought about what if we did one and made a list where we were all coming up with, if we had our own rosters for a new promotion, which guys would we sign? So we're all going to go round and pick fighters. It's pretty simple rules. You can't pick a fighter once someone else has got them. We'll keep going round until we all have 10 fighters. Pretty simple stuff. I'm going to determine the order in a little bit. I've got everyone's names written on a bit of paper that I'll screw up, and that's how we'll do it. I thought if I did it off screen, then it looks a bit suspect if I get number one, so I'm not going to do it that way. In the meantime, whilst I screw up these bits of paper, should introduce that we don't have Jamie with us because there's still some shenanigans going on, but we do have the boss finally here.
Salutations.
Right. Does anyone have any questions whilst I do this completely random order?
I don't think so. I mean, how many picks each are we getting?
10 picks.
Do we have to alternate between like male and women or like weight class? Or is it just
there's not enough women.
There's not many British women,
no.
to be honest.
I'm just trying to be inclusive, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to.
I mean, when we come down to like everyone, when I read out everyone's roster at the end, and we talk about who's got the best one, I suppose you do get bonus points for inclusivity, So
I've got my.
I was just thinking though there, but before Kyle introduced Cauley, I was just thinking like if we don't specify this, people are going to think that Jamie has shaved his head, grown a ginger beard, he's gotten so much paler.
Who is this man on my screen?
Oh, it's the boss.
To be fair, I shaved it yesterday, to be honest, but I'm really regretting it now because the reflection is so bad. Like, terrible decision.
I've grabbed a random bit of paper. I mean, they are so screwed up that I can't see anything on it.
I'll hold it up in front of the camera. There we go.
Nice and dramatic.
It's backwards. But Cauley has got the first pick. Also, my handwriting is that of like a 5-year-old child, so that doesn't help either.
I mean, now it just looks like you're sucking up to the boss, to be honest.
I was just going to say, Steve, I was just going to say, the first time Cauley comes on the show and he gets first pick, yeah?
I don't like brown nosing, Kyle. I'm not about
that. Yeah. Right. There's no other way. You can see how screwed up these bits of paper are. There's no way for me to read it. Looks like I'm doing origami.
Some FIFA corruption going on here.
I'm a little bit worried because as I unscrewed this one, I saw an E at the end. Okay, it's Steve. It's not me. If it was me, this was cancelled. But James Krause has been in these bits of paper.
I'll take second. Second is good.
Okay. This one, a third, is Jake. So there you go.
All right, sweet.
Okay.
That's a good point. Kyle, they all have E's at the end, so it wouldn't. It's like.
Yeah, I realised that once Cauley was number one. Not really a giveaway, is it?
Yeah.
This is going to be a long episode.
I'm nearly through the second can of Guinness. I'm going to have to go get another one in a minute. Who do I want on my list?
Never drink Guinness from a can. I'm telling you that as an Irishman.
It is honestly, I am violating my own code. But I just love Guinness, G. I just love Guinness. It's nothing though compares to a Dublin pint of Guinness. I don't care where in England you think your pint's good. It does not come. It's not even the same drink. Completely different. Big up Dublin. Big up Dublin.
Right.
This is the kind of great conversations you get on verbal. It's the kind of conversation you get on Verbal Money when we're waiting on Kyle.
I am literally just noting down numbers and stuff so we can keep track. Cauley, are you ready to do your first pick? Do you have someone in mind?
I was born ready for this pick, Kyle. There's only one pick for me for number one. There's only one pick. It is the man. You might have seen him take people's skulls for the past year or so. But this man is the future of the UK bantamweight division. This man is going to win $1 million or 100K. I don't know which one he's doing yet. He's going to win one of them. That man is Dominic Wooden. And that's when I'll cue a sick graphic to drop in, like, do you know what I mean? Some mad thing. But yeah, Dom is number one for Chesney.
That's a big call. I made a list of kind of trying to judge, you know, so I wasn't just going to write a list of everyone I wanted because I know I'm not going to get them all, but I tried to like tier them. And Don Wooden wasn't one of the people I'd considered being top tier, but I'm not surprised that you've gone with him, but I'm surprised. First round pick, Don Wooden, number one pick of the draft.
Trust me.
Yeah, jeez.
Trust me.
Steve, what are you following up Don Wooden with?
So just to clarify, we talked about this before, but we're reversing the order for the second round and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As much as I respect the pick of Don Wooden because he's a great fighter, I've talked to him before. He's a good guy as well. I'm quite happy you went with that because I'm going to take the UFC welterweight champion, Leon Edwards. It's a no-brainer. Unlike Laura Sanko, he is number one on my list, as he should be, the world champion. Looking forward to seeing him in March.
Just not at the O2. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I think we need to have like a segment that maybe we just get you to record separately, Cauley, but where you just rant about stuff you want to rant about, and we'll just put it at the end of the podcast.
I would honestly get cancelled. It just proper chaps my ass. We're at the fucking O2 again. Like, I'd rather Halford's car park in fucking Burton-on-Trent or something. I don't know if Burton-on-Trent's a real place, but I would have rather that than that. No.
this is outside.
Oh my days.
That's very true. Yeah, that's the problem with Halfords. They ain't got a roof, at least in the car park. Jake, first round pick.
Ooh, it's a tough one. I'd like to preface this pick. I know we said we weren't doing news during this, but I just saw it come up there. Paulo Costa is not going to fight Robert Whittaker in February on the Perth card. Just throwing that one out there. And then for my pick, it is a tough one. And I knew that either Cauley or Steve were going to have to go Leon Edwards, number one pick. So I am going to say, this might be slightly controversial depending on what your opinion is on, you know, which one of these guys is better than the other. But I'm going to pick Tom Aspinall as my first pick. I was tossing up between him and Arnold Allen, but I'm going to say Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall probably has a higher ceiling in his division than Arnold Allen, and that could come as a controversial statement for some people. But I'm going to say Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall. Again, I don't know how much you want to play into reality because this is, you know, complete nonsense. But big injury, could that come back to haunt him when he comes? Will he be the same Tom Aspinall? You got to consider all these things as a fantasy booker.
Maybe he will, maybe he won't.
Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Now, this has helped me out quite a lot because I've got the next two picks. So my next two work perfectly together because this first one is controversial. I'm a company man. I see the dollar signs. I'm going for the notorious Conor McGregor.
Well,
this new promotion, Kyle Diamond Fighting Championships, we might only get one fight off of him, but I'm still making more money than all of your promotions put together off of that one fight. I'm a money man, and so I'm going for Conor McGregor. Now, this softens the blow because in my next pick, I'm going to go for somebody that in the opposite way is on the rise and has got years and years ahead of him. I'm going for a guy that I think most people would say probably has the most potential of any guy on this list out of all the up and comers. I'm going for Mohamed Mokaev as a future star and someone that Conor McGregor ain't going to last in the main events for too long, but I think Mo Mokaev will take over that spot as the new breed. Right, back to Jake.
I suppose I can go for the other guy I was picking then. I didn't realize we were giving our promotions names. I was thinking about mine earlier in the week, and it just came back to me once you mentioned yours. So the next signing to Big Dick Swingers FC will be Arnold Allen, thankfully.
I'm sure Arnie, you'll love that name.
Yeah. No, like, to be fair, I think it's pretty apt. Like, my first two picks are Tom Aspinall and Arnold Allen. If those are not Big Dick Swingers, I don't know who is.
Sure. I don't know. I don't know if you get bonus points at the end of the draft for that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Steve. Steve.
Okay.
Second pick.
I do not have a name for my organization yet. I need to think that through.
Steve, I wouldn't worry about it, mate. Mine was Kyle Diamond Fighting Championships.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Somehow you guys have let me take both of the UK's world champions. Up next, the $1 Million Man, Brendan Loughnane.
That's tough.
Honestly, I
Really
think looking at this so far, I think I'm winning so far. I'm just going to say that 2 champions so far. We saw Brendan. He looked great against Chris Wade. He looked great against Bubba Jenkins in the final, of course. And he's only getting better. He's just hitting the prime of his career. He's been around for ages. And I think next year is going to be a big year for him in the PFL as well. So
okay, in a sense, you might be winning, Steve, because you have 2 world champions. Yes. I have 2 Big Dick Swingers. Who's really winning?
This is true. This is true. You know? Yeah.
All right.
No disrespect intended to Brendan and Leon, but
I mean, have you seen them? Do you know? What are you accusing these guys of, man?
I'm not saying anything, man. I'm not saying anything.
All right, we're back round to Cauley.
Oh, I wanted Arnold and Brendan next, to be honest. They were like my next 2, and then they've both just gone one after the other, so I'm a bit cried myself to sleep later. Do you know what? I'm going to be controversial as fuck. I'm going Paddy, you know. I'm going the big PP, the man of the hour, the man of the moment, the man everyone hates or everyone loves. Like, you talk about money, Kyle, you're going to want to do inter-promotional fights with me for Paddy. I'm telling you now. For money.
I mean, he generates headlines whether you like him or not. So
literally, you've got to have a money bringer. I didn't really think about that, but he's my money man, I think.
Nice shout. I mean, you've got the next pick as well.
Oh, that was a terrible little screen section as well. That is going to haunt me. Oh, do you know what? Why have I not picked? I'm going Jack Shaw. Why not? Jack Shaw is probably, in my opinion, one of the most well-rounded UK athletes we've got. Like, just everywhere he goes is amazing. Like, big Jackie Shaw. Why not?
Another solid shout. Featherweight debut coming soon as well. All right, Steve, back around to you.
Okay, these guys need opponents. Leon Edwards, obviously a welterweight, the welterweight champion at the minute, of course. Like I've said a couple of times in bragging about my selections. So my first super fight in this company: Leon Edwards, Michael Venom Page.
Oh,
that's great striking, stylistic matchup right there. Michael's a popular guy, so again, he might help me with that money, like you guys said. I'm happy with that choice. I'm very content. I think he slipped some minds as well. It took me a little while to think, you know, he's a guy who should probably go quite high. But yeah, I'm happy with that pick.
Yeah, good show. All right, Jake.
I'm not going to go for. I was trying to look for a bit of a money man in there, but I have my eye on one, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So I'm just going to go for another big dick swinger. And this one is from Scotland. His name is Paul Craig. He's an absolute menace for the light heavyweight division. And I do think he's going to have a lot of success in his future. So I'm gonna pick Paul Craig. I think he's very suited to my promotion, and I'd like to see him potentially fight Tom Aspinall in a heavyweight fight that I'm going to put on for the Big Dick Swingers heavyweight title.
Nice. This is a little bit of a controversial thing that I'm about to say. I listened to an episode of Paddy the Baddy's podcast the other day. Not popular. But it had Tom Aspinall on it. And I wanted to hear that. And he said that he got offered to fight Paul Craig when that UFC London card got cancelled in 2020. They wanted him to fight him on Cage Warriors, but he turned it down because he likes Paul Craig.
Mad. Yeah, don't they train together? Him, I'm sure Aspinall, Paul Craig, and Mick Parkin train together, don't they?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Mad.
There you go. Right, next two picks. I've got a feeling I might know what Jake's next pick will be. So I'm like, I could go for my pick, or I could go for someone else just to spite Jake. But do I want to cause beef between promotions like that straight out the gate? I got a decision to make here.
Oh, you do.
Okay.
The person you're probably thinking of picking, I wasn't going to pick, but you've just reminded me that they're on the list now, so I kind of have to pick them.
Saying that, I'm second guessing who I think you're going to pick, because there's two Irishmen that I thought would be quite high up for you, and I don't know which one you're going to go for. Who do I go for? You know what?
You have two consecutive turns now, so if you want to spite me and be a pain in my ass, you can take them both.
I could do. You know what? I'm gonna leave the Irish for a sec. I'll see what you do with it. I'm gonna go for Lerone Murphy.
Still evil Irish alone.
Who did you say, Kyle?
I'm gonna go for Lerone Murphy as my next pick.
Yeah.
Dulcie.
Always exciting. Always brings it. Tons of potential as well. Incredible story. And then I've gone against picking an Irishman to steal off of Jake, and instead gone with one of my own, Gloucester's Christian Leroy Duncan.
Nice, good pick.
Another fighter with tremendous potential. Like, I think if you were gonna, when we do the Living a Dream segment and we talk about our dream fighter, how you would want your fighter to go into the UFC, I don't think you could write it better than Christian Leroy Duncan's. Like, the trajectory has just been perfect so far. So there you go. Back to Jake.
Right. I have a choice. Do I want the Irish guy who thinks he's a little bit better than he's shown and thinks he's a little bit more popular than he really is? The underrated Irish guy, or
that
super
could be a
underrated.
The
one who
I could think of two straight away.
Same. I'm thinking,
okay. All right, the one who thinks he's more popular than he really is, Ian Gary. I'm gonna get him next, right? Ian Gary, I absolutely love you, buddy. I think he's a little bit underrated because a lot of people are shitting on him. But he thinks he's a little bit better than he's shown in his performances recently. That's all I'll say. And the only reason I spoke bad of him is because he blocked me on Twitter a year and a half ago, and I still haven't forgiven him for it. So,
Jake, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
very big dick swinger. So
no, Ian is really good, really talented, and really sick. I think what gets people and rubs them up the wrong way is how he talks. Like, his shit talking just doesn't resonate with a lot of people. I don't think it's very like, I'm the best, and like, I don't want to hear that. I don't give a fuck if you think you're the best. Like, give me some, be a bit of banter. Do you know what I mean? Have a laugh with me. I don't care if you think you're the dog's bollocks. Like,
all right, fair enough.
I do love you though. Please don't come correct.
All right, Steve, number 4.
I'm not 100% sure which way to go on this one. I've got a couple of options. So I think I will go for the one which will be the most attractive to you guys, and that's Nathaniel Wood. He looked great since moving up to featherweight. That performance over was it Charles Rosa and then Charles Jourdain? It looks perfect for him at that weight class. I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward. Hopefully another one we'll see in that March card, not at the O2. Yeah, so Nathaniel Wood, great addition to my organization, I feel.
Definitely. Right, Cauley, number 4 and number 5 for that matter.
Jake Hadley is my number 4 because
fuck.
It really fucks me off how everyone just hates Jake Hadley and why. Because you love Makayev so much. Like, Get out of fighters' asses. Jake Hadley is sick. Didn't have the best debut, granted, but he come back correct in that second fight. He was mint. So, yeah, go Jake, future UFC flyweight champion. Don't care how that sounds. It's going to happen.
He was one of those names I was just considering, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to be my next pick. That's why I let out. It was meant to be a silent fuck, but apparently it just.
He was going to be my next pick as well. So it's a big.
I'm really happy. I'm actually really happy then that we all rated him the same level, about 4th or 5th in our drafts. But
yeah,
lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
But next, I'm gonna go for my definitely Irish, but not proper Irish, Rhys McKee.
Nice.
I'm going it.
All right, now, Laura. All right, it's time to Sanko. It's to fucking step on the brakes there, will you?
I'm so sorry, Jake. No, but no, I like Rhys McKee. I do like Rhys McKee. He's heavy-handed. He's fun to watch, and that fight with Burlington he last had was power. So yeah, for my Laura Sanko moment, I'm going for Rhys McKee.
All right, number 5, Steve.
I've got a problem here because I'm taking notes of who we're picking. I've forgotten one of my own guys.
Okay.
I've got 5 for everyone else. I've only got 4 listed for me. I've got Leon, I've got Brendan,
Wait.
I've got MVP.
Oh no, I've only got 5. Sorry, Steve, because I'm.
Oh yeah.
Pick then, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's just because you guys all picked guys with long names. So yeah, Kyle's roster on my list takes like 3 lines.
That's what I'm going for. Quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my mistake. Yeah. I feel dumb now. Okay, so let me just pick. Let's bring in Fabian. Why not? Fabian Edwards is my next pick.
Oh, Steve.
Let's bring both the brothers together. And hopefully they will be simultaneous world champions, like they should be. Like when Fabian wins that Bellator belt, they're gonna be.
Would you be okay with them fighting each other?
But in this universe, they're gonna do it for my organization. What was that, Jake?
Would you be okay with them fighting each other at middleweight?
I mean, as a promoter, if they want to do it, that's the story.
He's got the money hat on.
If they want to do it, then
Crack on, lads.
as much money as an Edwards fight can make, anyway.
I would love to hear some stories of them growing up, like if they're like brotherly scraps and stuff. Like I would love to hear some of them stories. I bet a while.
Well, I have interviewed Fabian a couple of times. Cheap plug. Move on. Go.
All right, Jake.
Okay, it's time for me to finally get a money man, but my money man is a woman, and it is Meatball Molly McCann. And what she lacks in skill, she makes up for in social media interactions. So I'm going to take Molly McCann. This is actually becoming increasingly difficult because there are so many people like to pick. And need at least one money maker on the list, and it's going to be the big dick swinger, Molly McCann.
My favorite thing about Jake's last 2 picks is how he slags them off and then picks them. That's my favorite part. I hope that continues with every pick. Right. Okay. I've got to think about my 2 picks. When I mentioned that there was a couple Irishmen that I thought Jake would have for sure. One of them I'm going to snap up because he's still in the mix, and that is Paul Hughes, UFC bound
bastard
already. I've got a lot of guys that I think, I may have gone big with Conor McGregor, but they're all going to benefit massively from being on his undercards and then go on to lead that for him. A Paul Hughes co-main event with Conor McGregor main eventing, guaranteed money. So that is that pick. And then for the next pick, this is going to be a big one because when we get back round and we get to like Cauley having 2, you guys having 2, that's when it starts to get nervy because I'm going to run out of names real quick. So this has got to be a big one. I'm gonna go for the woman on the initial list that I drew up that I think has the most potential out of any of the others, and
You're
that
a
is
prick.
that
you
is
dare.
Dakota
Don't
Ditchable.
you
You're
dare.
a prick. Oh no.
Again,
Jake, like,
again, just building on my roster of stars for the future, all under the tutelage of the notorious Conor McGregor.
Now I'm gonna look like a dick because I haven't got a woman.
there is still I could think of at least 2 or 3 more off the
I
top
have
of my head.
I have one more on my list, to be fair, which
Okay.
I might have to delve down to towards the end.
These rosters are going to be thin for the women, though.
I'm really disappointed at myself. Mine are slacking so bad. Like I'm looking at your picks and looking at mine and thinking, could have had a switch around.
All right, Jay, you're struggling.
Fuck. Paul Hughes was going to be my next pick, and you've just stolen me off, and now you bastard. Fuck. I'm gonna take a page out of Steve's book here and pick a guy that I interviewed recently, cheap plug, and I'm gonna pick Modestas Bukauskas. Former Cage Warriors champion, hopefully 2-time champion, fighting at the end of this month. I mean, if we're taking hypothetical knee injuries into, our lore here, if Modestas can come back from it, then so can Aspinall. So I'm pretty confident in that pick.
Nice. You're just taking up all the big guys on the roster.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's big dick swingers.
Exactly, yes. I apologize. I should have used the correct term. Okay, Steve, number 6.
Okay. There we go.
Look at this guy on his fucking
I'm
phone.
gonna make what were you saying?
So look at this guy on his fucking phone. The rest of us here are doing it on fucking pen and paper. You're here on your
Jake.
phone.
No, we're not, Jake.
No, we're really not, Jake.
Do they have phones in Ireland, Jake?
No, they don't, Steve. They don't. We do it the right way. The fucking English took our phones. That's what happened, Steve.
Oh.
Okay. Like I said before, I've got a couple ways I could go with this pick, but I'm gonna go for my first Cage Warriors pick. I think, like we've been saying, it is another guy I spoke to recently, and that is the lightweight champion Georgie Hardwick.
Oh, Steve.
No.
Oh, Steve. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, I think he's got so much potential. I think this time next year he'll be in the UFC without a doubt. George the Heartbreaker Hardwick, as he gave himself the nickname when I spoke to him. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to seeing his potential. He's one of my guys with the most potential, I would say. A lot of my guys are kind of guys at their peak at the minute, but I think he is someone which in the future could be a major player for my organization.
Great show. All right, Cauley, next 2 picks.
Oh, I'm going for a highlight reel, man. I'm going for our Simeon Powell, the big man. He's just ruthless, isn't he, Simeon? I know you guys are getting very analytical, but he's just ruthless, isn't he? Like, bang, bang, good night, Shazam, poof. Like, don't you read a comic book and you see the fucking thing saying, like, oh, he got banged, basically? That's what Simeon does when he wigs people. So, I want Simeon. But next, I want Harry Hardwick. Oh, I'm sorry to shit on your brotherly reunion there, Steve, but I actually think
I was going for all the brothers.
Oh no, not having Harry, man. I think Harry's really underlooked, though, to be honest. Overlooked, sorry. I think he's got a very similar skill set to George, but while George has the power and the good highlight reel KOs, takes the bodies and everything. It's like, you know what I mean? I think Harry's got volume and pressure and aggression, and Harry's good at putting it on your toes. And I don't know. I feel like some fighters can get away with just like being relaxed and snatching the win from just be like laying back a bit. But I think Harry puts it on your toes so much that you don't have that option. You've got to fight, and that's why the double H is coming in. It's a shame he hasn't his middle name got Henry or something, so I call him Triple H. But That's what we've got, haven't we? So
Nice.
big double H.
Right, Steve, number 7.
Okay. Like you were guys saying, it's getting tricky now, isn't it? The guy I've had, which I've been close to picking a couple of times, so I think I'm going to go with him here. It's another experienced guy, Mark Diakiese. Or Mark D1 Casey, as he has become known of late with his wrestling ability. Yeah, I haven't really got any wrestlers, so I'm happy to have Diakiese. He's a guy with a good personality. I've talked to him a little bit. He's a really good guy. Yeah, I'm happy to have him in the team.
How mental is it if we went back a few years and then listened to this and you've got Steve saying he's picking Mark Casey because he needs a wrestler in his roster? How mental is that? That is crazy, isn't it? Wow. Okay, Jake, number 2.
And he will be a good opponent for George Hardwick.
Nah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this really is getting difficult now. I mean, do my allegiances lie with my countrymen or with, like good fighters? That is the question I have to ask myself right now.
At least you're honest.
Jake
I just realized now. I just realized now that when I was saying that the Irish guy who thinks he's better than he thinks he is, I thought that was pretty obvious. That was Ian Gary. I forgot James Gallagher was on the list.
Oh no, James is the man, bro. James is the man. He followed the blueprint and it just didn't work. So he's just changed it, and now it is working. But
and now it's working great at Glory MMA right now.
I was gonna say, is it with James Krause? I was gonna say,
he's making mad money with James Krause.
Is James Gallagher's winning streak because of James Krause's match fixing? I can't post this as a clip. He follows me on Twitter. He'll fucking chin me.
I'm gonna say, I'm stuck between two. Okay, I'm gonna say Mason Jones. Right, really underrated fighter, and he's been overlooked in the UFC so far. He gave Mike Davis an absolute belter of a fight during his debut. Had a really unfortunate no contest. After that, I cannot remember the guy's name. And then I remember he lost his last fight in London, but he remained competitive throughout. So I think he's still relatively young from what I know. But what he accomplished in Cage Warriors showed just how high his ceiling is. And then his performances in the UFC proved that. So I'm going to say Mason the Dragon Jones.
Solid. I'm going to go back to something I said a couple of minutes ago about when Steve picked Mark Casey because he needed a wrestler. It is crazy. If we went back a few years and you told me we would be doing this and that it would take us all the way down to number 7 for someone to pick Darren Till, I'd be so surprised. But I've got a lot of people on the come up. I need a guy that's ready to go straight into those main events, whether you like him or not, whether we think he's got a lot of potential still to come. We always talk about Darren Till every single time he fights, and we always we probably expect a little bit more than we end up getting every time, which is the disappointing thing. But I have faith in Darren Till. He can carry some of these cards whilst the rest of my guys come up. And the counterpoint to that is someone who I did not have on my initial list of people I wanted until Jake mentioned his name a minute ago, and that is James Gallagher. Now hear me out. First of all, I just did a double check of his record, and he's only lost in Bellator to Patchy Mix and Ricky Banderas, who top guys. And also, I need an opponent for Mo Mokaev where they can have a rivalry that blows up and it turns Mo Mokaev into the main eventer, which is why I put him as my second pick. So James Gallagher is going to be that guy. The trash talk will be incredible. The grappling exchanges will be fun. And people will probably leave not liking either of them. But it is what it is. I'm in the money as long as they buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Just to your point on Darren Till there, you said you need a guy who's going to be willing to step straight into those main events and all that kind of stuff. You do realize he's only going to fight every year and a half.
We're postponing. We're launching 2024. It's fine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
fair
he's
enough. Fair
got
enough.
Conor McGregor as well.
Oh, that's true.
You're getting two fights out of that, Max.
It's fine. That's all I need.
Okay, I've got 3 picks in total left. And I think I've got them mapped out, and I don't think anyone is going to be able to steal these off me. So I think I'm safe enough. I'm going to have to overlook some pretty obvious choices here. Or, well, what's obvious I've left of here. I'm going to go for someone who's not on the list. That's how outside the box I'm thinking.
Can we do that?
Yeah. The list.
Oh!
We haven't said this, by the way. But
Oh! No!
I made up a list of 40 names just in case we were struggling, couldn't think of names. You're on the spot. Have a quick look at that. See what.
So it's
pops
not
out.
explicitly the 40 names?
No.
Oh, no!
Jake was literally adding to the list before we started.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No. Oh.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to go for someone on the list first because I have a feeling Kyle is going to snatch him up in his little Irish stealing thing. I'm going for Caelan Loughran. He's Irish. He's really talented. I like the guy. He's going on my list, mainly out of spite, so someone does not steal him. But yeah, those are my picks.
Okay.
Cauley's fucking fuming. He's fuming.
It's not even that I'm fuming. I don't think any of you will pick who I want, but if I knew he would have been my number 2, he would have been my number 2.
I'm very confused. I'm very interested to see where you go with your
Oh,
pick. But before we get there,
laugh.
we got Steve's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a guy you just mentioned when you were talking about James Gallagher, and that is Brett Johns.
Oh.
I'm bringing Brett Johns into the team. I think, like you were saying about underrated guys, I think Brett Johns is really underrated still. He's lost to, I think, Magomedov in Bellator, and did he fight Magomedov? No, Sabatello he fought. I knew he fought someone who just grappled him. But I'm not sure. But that loss has aged well. He's still an underrated guy. Really slick submissions. We saw that with that calf slice all those years ago. So I think there's still something I can add to my organization in the full armor of Brett Johns.
Yeah.
What is it with fucking Welshmen and being severely underrated?
Just not very outspoken. Like,
Yeah.
if we're being honest, I was very, very close to picking Brett over James Gallagher, but it was purely because the fight with Makayev would be huge with Gallagher in it, and I wanted that. All right, who is this mystery man that Cauley is so fuming we didn't have on the list?
This is the man himself, Franz Malambo. Where's Franz?
That's a very good. It's a very
Big
good
man
shout.
Franz, bro. I love Franz Malambo. He's honestly, when I watch the interviews at Calton with him, I'm just like, what a fucking lad. And then when he fights, I'm like, he's such a nice lad and he's fucking smashing people's heads in. He's a nice lad. Let's get him on the list. Why not? Do you know what I mean? We don't need heels and we don't need money makers. We just need genuine, nice people to spread a good ethic amongst everyone. We need a man. So he's the man. But the next pick, though, I haven't got a fucking clue. I'll be honest with you.
Whilst you contemplate that pick, we are going to do a thing at the end where we run down everyone's list. But I'm having a look down Cauley's right now. He's got the likes of Paddy. He's got Jake Hadley. He's got Reese. He's got Franz. Is this the list for your roster, or just list of people you want to go for a Guinness with?
A bit of both, but I'm thinking
like
you guys are trying to compete like the UFC, PFL, and Bellator. One of these will be good, one will be okay, one's going to be shit as fuck. I'm going to be Cage Warriors, who everyone love and enjoy and watch every event because we're the future. I am the future. Yous are all just, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Are you gonna make people pay for
Oh
interviews?
no.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
I apologize.
Unless it's for me, then yeah, definitely £3.50 for an hour. I'm more than happy for that. Oh, I don't know. There's two people who I really don't know. Like, this is dilemma situations. Oh, Fuck it. No, don't. Oh no. Oh no. Do you know what? Fuck it. Jamie will have shouted at me. Well, he'd have gone mad at us, all of us. If no one picked Jai Herbert, so that is my man. I'll go for the next one. And Jai versus Paddy, the first main event. You're all paying. Maybe not, actually. Now I'm thinking of it, maybe not.
No. Well, I'll be paying for interviews. Well, according to Paddy, anyway.
Well, yeah. When he's got to do media, do they have to pay for interviews? Does he insist on a bonus like off the UFC for when
I don't think Joe Rogan paid him in the middle of the cage.
Back pocket there, like
Joe Rogan didn't give him anything. He didn't even sell the joke.
He just smiled so awkwardly, being like, "Is this fucker actually trying to get me to pay him for my job?"
Oh man, it's weird though. You shouldn't pay for interviews. You should not. I kind of see what Graham's saying. He just wants the fighters to get paid. I kind of see him saying, "Go on, Ariel. Get BT, put some money in your back pocket. Back the boys." Do you know what I mean? I kind of get that, but you just don't do that, do you? But True Geordie come out saying that he got asked explicitly for money for the interviews. But it's like, you can't sugarcoat it, can you? Like, it's just so crooked, man. It's so crooked.
Steve, have you got a number 9?
I mean, I have guys I can find. I'm running out of guys on my list. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna go from now. I was keeping him to the end because he's super underrated, but because he hasn't debuted in the UFC yet, a lot of guys probably won't be thinking of him, and that's Sam Patterson.
Oh,
yeah. He's hell of a run in Brave, great performance on the Contender Series. And now we're just waiting for that debut in UFC next year. And he's a guy I'm really excited to see what can do. And like, obviously, as Jake was saying, picking guys who we've spoken to, I did do an interview with Sam a couple of months ago. So definitely go and check that out. It's on the channel. But yeah, he's someone with a really bright future. He's a young guy. He's only 26, I think. So yeah, definitely someone I'm excited to see and excited to have on my team, which I thought none of you guys would pick.
Great
shout. A banging shout, to be fair. That's a banging shout.
I'm going to go with another Contender Series alum who's not on the list. I'm going to go with Chris the Problem Duncan. Awesome knockout and comeback in his second stint on the Contender Series. And if I'm not mistaken, Kyle and we spoke to him back, was it March on Spaces, I think it was. We were doing a Cage Warriors card. We were commentating Cage Warriors, and we had Chris on the show. Awesome guy, super sound, and he can fight as well. The fucker can fight. Big, hard as nails Scottish head on him. So, Chris, welcome to the Big Dick Swingers Fighting Championships. We'll stick you in with Mason Jones for a lightweight title fight, something like that.
Nice, very good. Okay. I've got my last 2 picks, so I've got to be very considerate with who is left. Who don't I want you guys to have? The clear number 9 for me is someone I wanted to pick anyway. And considering I got Paul Hughes, it makes perfect sense for me to sign Jordan Vucenic at the same time. The trilogy fight, I might have to wait a couple of years for Connor and Till to get to where I want them to be, but we can do Paul Hughes and Vucenic straight out the gate and it'll be incredible. They can fight every main event for all I care. So Jordan Vucenic is my number 9. Now my number 10. This is tough. Let me have a look at my list, see what I'm missing. Right, I think I am going to go for the second woman on my roster and go for Leah McCourt as a potential opponent for Dakota Ditchford down the line. Just kind of rounds out the roster quite well. There's a couple in there that I think would complement some of the other names in my list, but we only get 10. So I will take Leah McCourt. Also a great advocate for the sport who will turn into a fantastic commentator, I'm sure. There you go. Back to you, Jake.
Back to me already. Jeez. For my last pick. Oh, this is tough. This is really tough. What do I do? Let me have another look at this list. I was gonna say Brian Moore just because he's from Wexford, the same place that I'm from. And he's a really sound guy, and he can fight, to be fair. But just purely for the sake of quality, what am I gonna say? I'm not gonna say Brian Moore. I'm going to say Davy Grant. Davy Grant, awesome fighter, never in a boring fight, really underrated. For his technical ability and just for his ability as an action fighter as well. So I'm going to say Davy, Big Davy, Big Dick Swinger Davy, as he shall henceforth be known. And that rounds out Big Dick Swingers FC.
When you said it like that, it sounded like a football club rather than a fighting club.
Some ultimate team stuff there.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, last pick.
Okay, I'm gonna take a woman with my last pick because I don't have one. I'm not even sure how many of you are familiar with this person, so let me know if you are. She fights in Aries. It's Melissa Dixon.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was proper enthusiastic. Man.
One person knows who she is. Great.
Sorry.
5-0, beat a 7-0 Russian in her last fight with a first round finish. Yes, 5-0, 3 finishes, 2 wins in Aries now. So definitely one of the better women coming out of this country, I feel like. And yeah, she's someone who looked really good in that last fight against a 7-0 Russian in Aries. She was an underdog and she finished there with 1 second left in the first round. So I'm adding Melissa Mullins Dixon, I believe she is, to my team.
Okay.
Yeah, you completely lost me the second you said she fights in Aries. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be someone I know.
I'm taking the most niche pick in the entire draft. There we go.
That's a really good
like
shot, to be fair. She had some good bouts in she had some good fights. Oh my god. Yes, she did. In IMAF.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it's the World or the Euros. I can't remember. I'm not 100% to do.
It was Euros.
Was it the Euros?
I've got her topology up now. Yeah.
Was it Euros? And then she had was it her first 2 or 3 fights at Golden Ticket? Was
Yeah.
it? Yeah, nah, she's a really good star. She was there the other weekend, I think.
Yeah, she's done some commentary and stuff. But yeah, IMAF 2019, 3 first round finishes in 3 consecutive days.
Cold that in it.
Not bad, is it?
The IMAF format is so good. Like we shouldn't be talking about Olympics for MMA. We should be talking about IMAF on a global scale. Just bang, there it is. Like so good, so good.
Right, Cauley, the last pick of the draft.
It's not the worst pick. But it is a niche pick. It is a niche
good
pick.
stuff.
I've been looking through, and honestly, like my picks are so bad, star power wise, compared to your guys. Like they're so bad, but I don't give a fuck. My last final pick is perhaps, I think, to be honest, they've got the most potential and ceiling for a UK star. I think they could be the next thing. I really do. They just need a solid test to show everyone. And that man is Lewis McGrillen. I really think that lad is the next level of UK MMA. I think we've got such good talent. Like we've got Curtis Campbell coming through. I know Connor Walsh is still an amateur. That guy should be a pro already. We've got so many guys coming through. But Lewis McGrillen is the cream of the motherfucking crop. He's just not had a test big enough yet. And that's not even being disrespectful to him. A test for him, I would say, is like Scott Malone or someone on the Cage Warrior standard. He's not in Cage Warrior, so he can't get them fights. He is fighting who he can get. If he was in Cage Warriors, honestly, within 2 to 3 fights, he'll be fighting for a title. That man is ruthless. For a 22-year-old to have the power in that left hand like he does, fuck that. Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I don't even think my dad has that much in both hands. Do you know what I mean? Never mind this little lad with and he's ginger, so big up him. Lewis McGrillen, heavy kid.
Right, there you go. We have all got our lists of 10 fighters. What I'm going to do is quickly, was there any names that you guys had left on lists of people you were considering for your list?
Stevie Ray, I was thinking about putting in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big Black Bros.
Yeah.
Can't believe I didn't put Mike in there. I'm so annoyed.
I had Linton Vassell quite high on mine, which I didn't end up taking in the end.
Oh.
I had
Jonah
4.
Bannon was an option when I was thinking about a woman at the end.
Oh, no. I was actually thinking, should I pick Corey McKenna? But then I thought, I can't pick her over Lewis McGrillen. But now I'm thinking, I shouldn't have picked Franz. I should have picked Shauna Bannon, sorry.
Yeah.
What a talent, man.
I had Corey. I had Nathan Fletcher, Luke Riley, and Sam Creasy as all people that were going to be, if we carried on, then would have been picks. Right, I'm going to run you guys through your lists and just get your reaction on how you feel your list came together. We'll start with Cauley. We'll go in order of how we picked them. Right, Cauley, you have got Don Woodin, Paddy Pimblett, Jack Shaw, Jake Hadley, Reese McKee, Simeon Powell, Harry Hardwick, Franz Malambo, Jai Herbert, and Lewis McGrillen. How are you feeling about your list?
I love it, to be honest. It sounds really good, but now I'm looking at your guys' lists. I'm on some Cage Steel shit. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But all 10 of those who I have picked, I really rate you. So big up you guys. Yeah. I should have probably picked Leon. Conor McGregor. I should have really considered the picks I was going to have, but I thought, fuck it, let's go.
I just want to point out, like when I said that Don Woodin I didn't consider as like a first round pick that I wanted to get. It's not because I don't rate Don Woodin. We all love Don Woodin, but I thought that Leon, Connor, Tom would all be taken. Like, Steve.
I just didn't want to be original.
I've got Dom in my top 20 guys on my list.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Steve, you did get 15. The reigning welterweight UFC champion by taking Leon Edwards. I can't believe you got him and you got the second pick. That is incredible.
I'm so sorry. What a letdown I am. It's so bad.
Leon, no. Your list consists of Leon Edwards, Brendan Loughnane, Michael Venom Page, Nathaniel Wood, Fabian Edwards, George Hardwick, Mark Jacasey, Brett Johns, Sam Patterson, and Melissa Dixon. A lot of previous world champions and current world champions in that list.
It's not bad, is it?
It's not bad at all.
I'll take that. I'll take
really
that
list.
I'm really happy with that.
I think that's my favourite list, to be honest, Steve.
I'm surprised I was able to get all of those together without you guys stealing any of them.
I can't believe we fucking let him have Leon. Oh no, well, Cauley let him have Leon and we let him have Brendan. We let him have Brendan. That one's on us. But Cauley, you let him have fucking Leon. That's a travesty.
To be fair, you did well to end up. I don't want to spoil Kyle going for the pick, but you did well to get Aspinall and Arnold, I felt.
Yeah.
Honestly, every pick, I think out of 9 out of 10 times we've had a pick, you've all picked the person I want in next. I was like, you pray. I was like, fuck's sake.
All right. As we mentioned, Jake's list starts with Tom Aspinall and Arnold Allen. He's got Paul Craig, Ian Gary, Molly McCann, Modestas Bukowskis, Mason Jones, Calvin Loughran, Chris Duncan, and Davy Grant. A lot of representation in there throughout all of the UK and Ireland.
Yeah. Look, we're all just big dick swingers over here. That's what it's about. I'm currently working on the design for the belt. I can throw out a little sketch if you want. It could be like more of a trophy. Oh, that's a horrendous penis I've drawn.
Fucking draw.
It could be like more of a trophy or something like that. But I'm just thinking like, we're not gonna do belts. I don't think we're just like, just like something like that. Do you know what I mean? Probably add some pubes or something on that. It's yeah, there we go.
On a trophy.
Anyway,
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, there's my journalistic future gone in the toilet with this episode. It's been an honor for the last 3 years.
The thing I like most about Jake's strategy of picking fighters is that he would give them a contract with one hand and give them a backhanded compliment at the same time. That's my favorite part. You're good. Maybe not as good as you think you are, but you're in the league. Incredible stuff.
I'm such a snide bastard. Like, I'm just like, you know what? You're not that good, but you're good enough to come fight for me, I reckon.
What's this say about your promotion, bro?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, stop.
Oh, sorry.
I'm never getting an interview ever again. I'm fucked. Like,
Should have gone to that Christmas party instead, man.
I should. Fucking Sean Sheehan invited me to a fucking severe MMA Christmas party on Zoom, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna pick Ian Gary on my draft. I'm gonna say you're not as good as you reckon you are, but you can fight for my big dick swinger belt.
I can't believe you turned Sean down for us.
Oh no, man.
Oh, heavens above.
Wow.
Heavens above.
Right, finally.
So I've had a hooner, boys. I've had a hooner.
From my list, I picked Conor McGregor, Mohamed Mokaev, Lerone Murphy, Christian Leroy Duncan, Paul Hughes, Dakota Ditchever, Darren Till, James Gallagher, John Vucenic, and Liam McCourt, which I'm very happy with my list. Overall, I think it's pretty strong. There's a lot of guys in there that will go on to do very, very big things, I'm sure. So I'm happy about that. There was a point where we spoke about doing this as like a fantasy thing, which we are going to do something separate to that. But I'd be pretty happy with my list if it was a fantasy thing. I think there's quite a few guys on there that'll pick up some big wins next year, but we will do that in a separate video anyway. So that doesn't come into it. We will post graphics and stuff up there so that you guys can see our lists and stuff like that. We'll get a vote going.
Let's make a poll.
We'll get a vote going, see what people agree and disagree with. That's gonna be interesting.
People are gonna hate me. Oh no.
I'm just thinking possibly for next week or in some of the coming weeks, because there's not going to be a whole lot of fight stuff going on. I'm thinking ideal UFC 286 card, do a 286 fantasy matchup. Try to be as original as you can. You're allowed to sign people as well, so if you want to sign Paul Hughes or something like that, that could be a decent idea, I reckon.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds good.
About that.
But yeah, we'll have loads of that stuff come in, like end of the year awards and all that good stuff, whilst there's not as many events going on that we got to talk about every single week. But that's the end of the draft. I want to just do it again, but we can't, because it just be,
Can we just start again?